This is the Evil Never Dies podcast with Brett and Carl. This podcast may contain adult themes, violence, and strong language. Listener discretion is advised.
The Evil Never Dies podcast.
Welcome back to the Evil Never Dies podcast. I'm Brett, here with Carl.
Yeah, and I almost did the show without you tonight because I didn't know if he's going to show up or not.
I'm here.
You missed the midweek. I was going to do it midweek, but I don't think you would have edited it, so I was like, screw it.
Oh, I probably could have, but oh well, we can miss an episode.
Anytime I try to miss an episode, he yells at me. Can't miss an episode, man. Can't miss one.
Well,
Can't do it. But when
was...
Brett needs to miss an episode, that's why I'm nothing but a crony. I'm not no host. Anytime I say I don't want to do a show, I've got to do a show, man. Can't miss. When Brett needs to miss, it's okay.
I had a very good reason why I had to miss, though.
Well, do we even want to get into that or not?
No.
Let's not.
It'll eventually come out someday.
Ain't got nothing to do with Alex Jones, does it?
I don't know, maybe.
That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, shit.
I was watching him on X today.
Oh, yeah.
They're trying to take his company from him now or some shit.
Yeah, because he owes all that money.
Well, he filed Chapter 7 bankruptcy, which means you have to liquidate all your fucking holdings. So he sort of did it to himself in that case.
Yeah, I guess so.
Guy's whack.
Yeah.
I unfortunately met him once when I was talking to Jim Mars, the former JFK expert. I was talking to Jim, and here comes this little smart aleck, somebody with a camera. Like, I'm like, who the fuck are you? Well, it was Alex Jones. I ain't ever knew who he was at the time. I told Jim Mars when he left, I said, that guy was an ass. He's like, yeah, he's just sort of special.
Well, that was before he got huge, probably.
It was before he got huge. Yeah, that would have been like the
early 2000s.
The 2000s, yeah.
Like 9/11, that's when he started going really crazy, was with the 9/11
Yeah,
shit.
so this would have been prior to 9/11.
Huh.
Anyway, that's that. I don't know how we got onto that dude, but
you're the one that did that.
Yeah, because I'm trying to figure out why you missed the midweek. And you won't tell me. It's a secret. I got my new studio all fixed, I think, for good now.
Yeah,
except I got
this
weird glow coming from the whatever side this is. Look at that weird glow.
It matches the skull back there.
It does. So if you're not on YouTube, you need to come on and look.
You're missing out. You're missing out.
Count Karabi podcast studio.
All right. This week, we are doing a film from 1978 called Magic.
And it's directed by Richard Attenborough.
Yeah.
Who fucking won Academy Awards and shit. So I'm like, what the hell?
Yep.
His brother was like, did all these animal things. So that's a real famous family in England. If you don't know who they are. So when I saw his name attached to this movie, I'm like, I think I might be thinking that I'm watching a movie that is not what I thought it was.
Yeah.
And it was not the movie that I thought it was for some. I think I confused this with an episode of The Twilight Zone.
You may have.
I may have. So anyway, with that information, let's continue on.
All right. Like you said, it was directed by Richard Attenborough. Screenplay by William Goldman, based on his book Magic.
I always like a screenplay by the actual author of the book. That makes it cool usually.
Yep. But he left a lot out of that what was in the book that's in the movie. He left a lot out of the movie. So uh
Does that
based
mean I need, do I need
produced
to go read the book?
I don't know. I might be able to get it on audiobook.
I don't know.
Produced by Joseph E. Levine and Richard P. Levine. Cinematography by Victor J. Kemper. Edited by John Bloom. Music by Jerry Goldsmith. And what do you think of the soundtrack score to this, Carl?
Seems sort of forgettable, really, for Jerry
Yeah,
Goldsmith, who's done some of the best scores ever. I mean, he did The Omen.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I wasn't real impressed with the score.
There was parts of it that was good, but then there was other parts like there was like harmonica involved and
That
shit.
harmonica thing annoyed the shit out of me.
Yeah, me too. And
But that was sort of the dummy or the ventriloquist theme, it felt like.
yeah, yeah. All right, distributed by 20th Century Fox.
Somehow Disney was involved in this too, but I don't know exactly how. Maybe you'll know in trivia.
Yeah, maybe it is in there. I didn't really there's a lot of trivia on this, but I'm not going to be able to go through all of it.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird production issues with the movie too,
Yeah.
which has led to a lot of bootleg releases on Blu-ray and DVD over the years, and a really shitty copy on Tubi. They're always bragging on Tubi. Well, they have a bad copy of this movie.
Yeah, yeah. I've
It's
watched it a
edited
few
and it's in the box, whatever you call it, the
the 4.3 or whatever.
4.3. It's yeah, like the TV cut of it or some crap.
Yeah. Yeah. Release November 8th, 1978, has a running time of 107 minutes. Country is United States. English language. Budget was anywhere between $7 and $10 million, and it brought 23.8 million at the box office, which they made their money but they hyped this movie up a lot.
It seemed like it was a lot longer than it was too.
Yeah.
I swear this DVD copy, their Blu-ray that we got, I think is longer than 107 minutes.
It might, does it say on there? I can't
It
even.
says 107 minutes.
Huh.
Maybe it was just that the copy on Tubi was significantly shorter. And I swear the copy on Tubi, there's no cussing in it, but this Blu-ray, they
Oh
cut
yeah.
the puppet cusses like a sailor.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
So I don't know how many versions of this movie exist, but apparently there's several. Look how long my bangs are now. Look at that shit.
You're getting to be a hippie, man. You need the back to grow that long.
Nah.
All right, let's go over the cast here.
This is a backwards mullet, I guess.
Backwards, a frullet.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's
The-
go over the
The
cast.
front mullet.
Yeah.
All right, we got Anthony Hopkins as Corky Withers, and
Anthony
also,
Hopkins.
yes,
The Anthony Hopkins.
the Sir Anthony Hopkins. Well, actually, his royal name is Sir Philip Anthony Hopkins.
Okay.
And if you don't know who he is, then you've been
Don't watch the show.
living under living under a rock for the last 50 years. Like I said, he plays Corky Withers and the voice of Fats, the ventriloquist dummy.
The dummy, not a mummy. I called it a mummy.
Are you drinking tonight?
I am, but I'm drinking liquid death, so
Oh,
not really.
I got my zeros. Next, we got annmargaret as Peggy Ann Snow. And she was absolutely gorgeous in this movie. I am the biggest annmargaret fan. She's second to Jessica Lange to me. So, yeah. She was only 37 when this came out, too.
Oh, wow.
And she does a nude scene.
I thought I saw something, but
You saw that titty?
I thought it was her arm.
Nope, it was her titty.
Well, she was laying funny. So I don't know.
Well, he even said, like, after that scene that he said to her that she had breasts from heaven or some shit like that. All right, next we got Burgess Meredith as Ben Green, who was like his Corky's manager
His
or whatever.
manager. And how do they get Burgess Meredith to look like that in the movie?
I don't know.
It looked like he was wearing a bald cap or something.
He was like bald on the. He had just
kinda-
the sides only.
Yeah. And for some reason, when Lisa actually watched this with me, I told her, I said, I think that's Ed McMahon. And she said, yeah, that is Ed McMahon. And I'm like, no, it's not. But I couldn't think of Burgess Meredith's name for about halfway through the movie. I finally remembered. Doesn't look like him.
I know. Next, we got Ed Lauter as Duke, and that was Peggy Ann's husband. Next, we got E.J. Andre as Merlin. That was like Corky
His mentor. I thought maybe he's the one that gave him the ventriloquist, but it doesn't really show. Sort of hints that maybe.
Well, I guess in the book it goes more into that with the Merlin character and how he trained him and showed him magic and all that. So
okay.
Next we got Jerry Hauser as the taxi driver. David Ogden Steers as Todson, and Lillian Randolph as Sadie. And I don't remember any of these other people except for like the first four we just talked about.
I remember the taxi driver.
Yeah.
Because he gave him $100 to not tell anybody where he was when he took him there.
Yeah, that guy was young too. He's been in a bunch of stuff. All right.
It's really a small cast. There's just a lot of extras like in the audience.
Like just one scene thing, stuff like that.
So the plot. Well, it starts like you said with this Corky talking to this Merlin, the magician. Not Merlin from King Arthur, but some magician who's, like you said, sort of the mentor to this Corky. Well, Corky goes to a club and totally bombs and I guess loses his temper, and he's telling this to the Merlin guy and he's giving him advice. So we go a little bit forward and now he's got Fats, the ventriloquist. There's a picture of him if you're on YouTube. Yeah, very creepy looking ventriloquist.
I got the same thing.
Oh, holy shit. You actually got a legitimate copy of a movie. I wonder why. We got these at Texas Frightmare Weekend, by the way. So,
yep.
Shout out to Texas Frightmare Weekend. They had everybody there.
Dark Sky Films, who have the rights to this now.
Yes. So anyway, once he gets Fats with him, he turns into this popular comedian, and whatever the hell Burgess Meredith's character name is, or
magician ventriloquist.
Yeah, he's a magician / ventriloquist. I can never say that word right. I haven't since I was a kid. But anyway, the Burgess Meredith character, or Ed McMahon, whichever you prefer, is trying to hire him or to become his agent and get him on the 70s late night talk show circuit, including Johnny Carson, because he's sure he would become a star. And that's sort of the gist of the movie. It takes a weird turn. Just a little bit of spoilers. I guess we find out that Corky's a little quirky. He's a little on the weird side and a little nutty. So he refuses to take some kind of a medical test, which the networks, I guess they're going to give him a show maybe or something.
Yeah, they were going to give him.
So after being on Johnny Carson or one of them, he's gotten very popular, but he doesn't want to take the medical test. So he leaves town and disappears and hides out.
Goes back to his hometown where he grew up.
It was his hometown, the Catskills, I believe.
Yeah.
Catskills, or however you say that. And that's where he pays the taxi driver $100. Don't tell nobody you saw me. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much gets you to the beef of the movie. The main plot of the movie really has nothing to do with magic or his magic career. It's just him and this damn puppet that he talks to constantly.
Yeah.
And
Talks
the
to
puppet
him.
answers back, and the puppet's very foul mouthed. At
Yeah.
least in the Blu-ray version. If you watch it on Tubi, there's no cussing in it. So I go figure.
That must be the TV version for like regular TV.
I think
network
so.
TV.
So it's sort of a quirky movie at this point, and it just takes a complete turn into a different direction. And I guess we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, it's got a lot to do with definitely mental health issue, and
It does.
sort of got a love story vibe
Kind
to
of a
it.
forbidden love.
Yeah.
Just sort of goes in a weird direction. I didn't see it coming. I don't know. I mean, they say this is a psychological horror movie. I don't really see that there was any horror anywhere in it myself.
That's what I think too. I think it should be labeled as a psychological thriller.
I think it's a little deceiving to put the way they make it look on the cover too. So,
yeah.
like I said, I think I confused this in an episode
the
of the Twilight Zone.
the original movie poster though was just like half the puppet's face.
Yeah, that was even spookier, I thought.
Yeah.
But I will say, before we get any further, this is not the movie I thought it was, I don't think. And I do believe I confused it with an episode of The Twilight Zone, which we got all those right here in a box. So I'm going to go after this is over, the show's over, and find the episode that I think I'm confusing it for. So that's my goal for tonight.
If it's been in the first 3 seasons, Jimbo and ADZ have covered it.
I know.
So
I'll have to.
I do remember one about a puppet though.
Yeah. Jimbo, if you're listening, if you haven't covered this one yet, I'm coming on and doing it with you.
The puppet one.
If I ever find it out of this whole box. So
got a lot of episodes to watch.
There are a lot of episodes. So where we go from here on this thing?
I guess we'll go over a little bit of the production.
Let's do the production. Yeah. Like I said, somehow it says that Disney was involved in this thing, but I can't figure out how and in what way. Apparently 20th Century Fox lost the distribution rights to it somehow. And I think MGM had picked it up at one point. I don't know. It's got a weird history.
Yeah. Well, more or less it was originally put out on 20th Century Fox, wasn't it?
That's who distributed it, yes.
Originally,
but somehow they lost it.
And then when it started in with the home media, Disney got their greedy little hands in on it. But neither of them actually own the complete rights to the film after all.
No, they do not.
And I guess this is saying MGM has the rights.
MGM had the rights at one point, but we got the version from Dark Sky Films.
Yeah.
So they must have subleased it from MGM because MGM subleased almost everything in their library to different companies. Now MGM's owned by Amazon, so I don't know what the future holds for a lot of these Blu-ray releases that MGM had.
Exactly. They're probably just going to try to put all this shit out on Prime.
They might.
Yeah.
So that's the troubled, weird production history of the movie. We think MGM might own the rights to it, but Dark Sky Films has actually released the Blu-ray of it,
yeah,
which appears to be complete, uncut, uncensored, and there's actually special features on it too.
Yeah, did you get to watch any of them? Did you check them out?
Watched the interview with Anthony Hopkins, and that was all I got to because
I tried watching that, but it was the guy in Italian. Did you do there's a radio interview and then there's a TV interview.
I think I had the TV interview.
Well, they had the guy, the Italian talk
No, I
show.
think I had the radio, and I don't know. There's 2 interviews on it, like you said. I looked at a little bit of it. I didn't have a lot of time this week. I've had a house full of people, so I didn't have access to my TV for a few days. So I was watching everything in the bedroom. But there are some good special features on this, so we'll just cover this while we got it out. It's a good Blu-ray release. It looks really good.
Yeah, it does.
Uh,
They did a good
Dark Sky
job.
comes through again. Another one of my favorite companies. Um, yeah, I'm glad that somebody's finally got this damn thing in a full release and apparently uncut and uncensored. But it does seem like it's really long now. I guess because it was always a shorter version.
You know,
I remember seeing this movie a lot, but I don't think I ever thought it was called Magic. I don't know. I got confused with the puppet.
confused by a puppet. Well, in March of '76, the producer Joseph Levine purchased the film rights to the magic novel for $1 million and hired him to do the screenplay. June '76, they hired Norman Jevison to direct the film, and he wanted Jack Nicholson to play it.
Oh, well, Jack Nicholson would have been great in it.
Yeah, you know what? Guess why he turned it down?
I don't know why.
Because he didn't want to wear a hairpiece because he was bald.
Gotcha.
He was bald, he had the balding on the sides,
Yeah.
like in The Shining. And Steven Spielberg expressed interest in directing the film and considered casting Robert De Niro for Corky.
Nero played some good crazy roles too.
Yeah, I couldn't see him doing that though, playing this part.
I don't know. Taxi Driver, he plays a complete nut. Similar character almost. I could see him doing this.
But Richard Attenborough, who had directed A Bridge Too Far with Goldman and Levine, then agreed to direct the movie.
That's my question. How the hell did they get Richard Attenborough to direct this thing? You just answered it.
Yeah,
Friends with the producers.
and the writer of the book, because
Yeah.
Goldman wrote that book, A Bridge Too Far, too. So,
Okay, so that's how Richard Attenborough got involved.
yeah.
A lot of big names in this, involved in this apparently small movie, but damn. I mean, Burgess Meredith was still a household name at this point as well, I would think.
Yeah, he was a big star from he was in the Batman and back in the '60s, and
He was in a lot of the Twilight Zone
Rocky.
episodes.
He was in Rocky before he was in this.
Yeah.
That was 3 years before. And Laurence Olivier was offered the role of the agent, but was
Okay.
unable to do it. So they hired Burgess Meredith to do it. Oh, let's see anything more on the production. Anne-Margaret and Anthony Hopkins were paid $300,000 a piece for their performances. That was pretty good, damn good money in 1977, 78.
Yeah, it was really good.
I need one of them little calculators that do what that would be today.
Yeah, and in 2024 money.
Yeah. Well, it's probably 3 times as much.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Oh, let's see. Exteriors of the film were shot in Ukiah, California, at Blue Lake in Upper Lake, California. Let's see. That's about all on the production.
We covered the
Also,
Blu-ray.
Gene Siskel loved this movie. Said it was Anthony Hopkins' best work
Ever?
Well, up until that point, till this movie.
Okay.
Did what was that movie he was in with the the little girl. What was it called? Audrey Rose. Did you ever see that?
I believe I did. Yes.
Was that was before this? I think, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure
I
it
don't
was.
know, honestly. I'm not going to lie on the air because I'm not sure.
I think it was a couple of years before, maybe. I
I
can't.
would assume it was probably before. Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we'll move on to some trivia here. I'm going to give you a guess who. Guess who was the original choice for Corky?
You said Jack Nicholson.
No, he wasn't the original.
William Shatner.
He was offered the part.
William Shatner.
Nope.
I don't know then.
Gene Wilder.
Jeez, they just had name after name attached to this thing.
But director Richard Attenborough and writer William Goldman both wanted him, but producer Joseph Levine refused, said he didn't want a comedian in the part. So
I don't know. I think Gene Wilder would have been pretty good in it myself.
I think he probably would have too, but
Better than the other names we've talked about.
Exactly. Let's see here. To prepare for his performance, Anthony Hopkins learned magic tricks and studied the art of ventriloquism. He learned how to project his voice and manipulate a ventriloquist dummy. So he did that, everything. He did it. So
I would say I'm impressed with that. Yeah.
yeah. It's like I wonder how long he had to learn how to do that,
Yeah, I don't know.
Back then it seemed like it took longer for him to make movies,
It did.
Upon seeing Fats for the first time, Anthony Hopkins was allowed to take the doll home to work with it. However, he would be so unnerved by it because it looked just like him. They designed the thing to look just like him. And he would call his ventriloquist coach in the middle of the night, threatening to throw Fats into the canyon if someone didn't come and get him immediately. Director Richard Attenborough ended up going to his house to calm him down.
It is a creepy ass looking.
It is.
I mean, a lot of the ventriloquist dummies are spooky looking, but this might be the scariest one I've seen.
Yeah, his eyebrows and ears and everything move. Eyeballs, ears, and eyeballs. Yeah.
He's even scarier than the Billy puppet in Dead Silence. Did we cover Dead Silence?
Yeah, we did.
I thought we did.
Yes, we did. Like I said, the dummy was created specifically to look like Anthony Hopkins. This movie was R.L. Stein's inspiration for the dummy Slappy. Is that where you've seen it before?
No.
In Goosebumps?
I remember a dummy from Goosebumps, but I didn't know it was inspired by this one.
I don't know. Look up Slappy and see if that's it.
Nah, that's not the one I'm thinking of.
Okay.
I'm 90% sure the one I'm thinking of is in the Twilight Zone here.
All right. Let's see here. In the closing credits, Anthony Hopkins is billed twice, first and fifth, for the characters of Corky and Fat.
That's sort of weird.
Yeah, no.
I didn't watch the end credits, so I didn't pay attention.
I didn't either. I was rushed.
You were rushed.
I didn't get a chance to watch it last night, so I had to watch it right when I got home from work tonight. So
you're doing a me. Usually it's me that's having to rush.
I know. All right, let's see here. Many years after the film's release, Gene Wilder was asked at a book signing what the role he wished he had gotten to play, and he said it was Corky.
Wow.
He said that he felt that the film would have worked much better with a comedian in the role.
I think it would have too, maybe. Especially Gene Wilder, because he's like Steve Martin. He's sort of a serious comedian in many roles.
Yeah, exactly. The original trailer for this movie featuring dummy Fats was removed from broadcast stations after parents complained about how scary it was. And they were playing these in the fall of 78, right before Halloween, because it came out in November, the first week of November. And in the ads, Fats talks, closes his eyes, and after he says the last line in the movie, which is "We're dead."
I'll tell you what, I think they make this appear to be a lot scarier than it is. Probably purposely. I don't know.
Yep, to get that draw in.
I think so. Because it's not really a horror movie.
Because I remember seeing the trailer for this and stuff, and I was like, "Ooh, I can't wait to go see this shit." So yeah. Let's see here. Oh, on this Blu-ray, there's a behind the scenes documentary about the making of the movie. It's called Magic Fats and Friends. So I guess this was originally done in 2006 then. Put out on Blu-ray.
I don't know. This featurette's called, Fats and Friends, and there's also a Screenwriting for Dummies exclusive. I wish we had more time to
Yeah, I know.
investigate the Blu-ray more, but like you said, we both had a really busy week, so
Exactly. What the hell's going on outside? Gunshots.
sound like it's coming from your direction.
It is. It's right out front of my house.
Uh-oh.
Just,
Duck.
just as long as one don't come through the window at me, I don't care. All right.
I heard it from your direction, whatever it was.
Did you hear it though? You heard it?
I did hear it.
Oh fuck. It was really loud. It was really loud here. Annmargaret and Sir Anthony Hopkins were each. I already went over that.
We already went over that.
Let's see here. And I guess they did not get along on this movie at all. They hated.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, because Anthony Hopkins, he's very serious about his roles and stuff, and Annmargaret, she's happy-go-lucky. Oh, let's see here. You're yawning, man.
Tired, man.
Oh, let's see. There's
probably be drinking a Mountain Dew instead of liquid death water.
Liquid death. What's in that?
It's just a carbonated lime. It's got lime flavor to it.
Oh, so it's like a White Claw or something.
A what?
Does it have alcohol in it?
No, it's just carbonated water.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's that liquid death that Ozzy and the Osbournes are pushing. They're always pushing it on their podcast.
I don't listen to Ozzy Osbourne.
Well,
I can't understand him.
It's the whole family. They do a thing now.
I don't care anymore.
All right, let's see here.
I pick Tony Martin over Ozzy.
In the novel, Fats initially appears in the form of just a disembodied voice.
In his head. That makes sense.
Reportedly, this movie was shot on closed sets in Hollywood so as to preserve the secrets of the plot and the storyline. They didn't want nothing to get out about this movie.
Yeah, they didn't want nobody to realize that this movie wasn't a horror movie, I think.
Very well could be.
Shit. What is this, 78? You said it came out?
Yep.
So how many years ago was that? It tricked me this year into thinking it was something it wasn't. So the trickery remains all these years later.
Let me see here. Something we ain't talked about.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Talked about that. Similar plot to the movie The Dummy in 1962.
Maybe that's the one I'm thinking of.
Maybe. Who's in that?
I don't know.
Let's see. Cliff Robertson. Oh, it's written by Rod Serling, so that's probably what you're thinking.
I bet you it is.
Oh, it is on the Twilight Zone. That is the Twilight Zone.
Okay.
That must be it.
Season 3, episode 33.
There you go. Now you're gonna have to watch it and see how close it is. Now I lost my fucking spot. Oh shit. Let's see
Solve the
here.
mystery.
Margaret and Burgess Meredith later went on to appear together in Grumpy Old Men and Grumpier Old Men. They have no screen time in this film together, but do share scenes together in latter films. You're gonna start making me fucking yawn, dude.
I can't help it.
Rosie O'Donnell quoted the trailer for this show on her hit 90s TV show and raved about how it terrified her when she was a little girl.
I bet she confused it with the Twilight Zone episode too.
Oh shit. Let's see here. Fats was the first ever X-rated dummy.
X-rated.
That's what they're saying. I guess he had a filthy mouth because his mouth was so filthy.
Wouldn't call it X-rated, but whatever.
Let's see here. There ain't really nothing. We've already talked about most of all this stuff already. So,
Okay.
you got anything else you want to talk about the Blu-ray or anything?
No, I've covered that. I'm currently looking at Twilight Zone now, trying to find this damn dummy.
Damn dummy.
Yeah, I got my book out here. I'm looking, investigating. I need to call Jimbo.
Season 3. I think what you said it was season 3, episode what?
Season 3, episode 30 something.
Oh, they haven't gotten to it
They
yet.
they haven't got that far yet.
I think they're only like on episode 10 or something like that, 10 or 11.
Yeah, they're not at near season 3 yet. So
yeah, they're on season 3, but episode wise, yeah.
I'm so tired and confused. I don't know.
I've
listened to a good majority of those. They do a good job with that.
Yep.
But I'm behind on everything. I have been for the last 6 months. Actually, longer than that. Pre-haunted house last year, I've been behind.
Oh, all right. Well, what are you going to rate this at, Carl?
Well, I'm very disappointed.
Let's hear your 2 cents worth.
I was very disappointed when I watched it because I remember seeing this movie before, but I don't remember anything special about the dummy in it or anything. So when we bought this thing, I was thinking the damn dummy comes to life and kills everybody. I was wrong. It's not the movie I thought it was. And it's not a horror movie, as we said several times. And honestly, I found it quite boring as shit.
Really?
It seems like it drags on and on and on. And it just gets weirder and stranger and just annoying. The acting is great in it. They all do a good job. Richard Attenborough is one of the best people from British film history. I just think it was, and like I said, even to this day with this cover, it's mislabeled. I mean, they even have on here a terrifying love story, which probably makes more sense than calling it a psychological horror movie. I don't find much about it except for the fact he's definitely crazy.
Disturbed, yes.
Disturbed, but it's not scary at all. The dummy's not even scary in it. Like you said, he's got more of a potty mouth.
There was a
So
couple scenes, but yeah.
I find it fairly pretty much a bore.
Okay.
I mean, watching it from the aspect of us covering horror movies. If I was covering something else, I would probably look at it a little differently. But
Okay.
I'll keep the Blu-ray, but I don't know that I'll watch this thing again. I think I'm done.
All right.
So
Well, maybe you'll watch that
I am as soon as I get off
episode.
here if I don't go to sleep first.
Well, maybe you'll watch this again to compare it more. Let's see. I don't know. So
I don't know.
what are you gonna give it?
It's not a terrible movie. It's just not what I expected. So I don't know. I'll give it a 2.5.
Oh, really? Okay.
And I mean, it's just long and boring to me. I was honestly glad when it ended. And I watched it twice. So the
Okay.
second time I was really glad when it ended.
Oh shit. All right.
It's certainly not no classic that everybody keeps calling it, in my opinion.
Okay. That's your opinion. You're entitled to have it.
I'm just telling the truth, as you always say.
Okay.
I told the truth.
All right. Well, this movie brings back a lot of memories for me, childhood memories. I was 11 when it came out. Seen it in the theater. I remember which theater I seen it at. Probably seen it in the first week of it coming out. So, uh, Anthony Hopkins, man, uh, did a great job, man. Very good actor. He played this part very well. To be honest, I really don't think any of them other actors could have did it as good a job.
He did a decent job. Like I said, the acting's good in it, but I think
Burgess,
anybody could have played the role. I think Gene Wilder would have been almost better in the role. But nothing against Anthony Hopkins. I mean, he played the role well. It's just I don't know.
and
It's
just the way him doing the dummy, all that stuff himself. That I don't know if De Niro or who else did they want to play? Jack Nicholson. You
yeah.
think they could
And
have actually been a ventriloquist and did it? Think they would have took the time to learn how to do it?
I don't know. It looked to me
Mm.
like he really wasn't being a ventriloquist in it. It looked like I don't know. It looked sort of. I wasn't very impressed with that part of it.
There was a couple of times when like you could see his lips moving a little bit, but I
I'm
think
just
that
saying it looked like to me that they were doing the dummy's voice off camera. It didn't look like I wasn't impressed with that part.
okay. Well,
Well,
I
we're
was.
disagreeing tonight. I like it. I like it when we disagree.
So yeah, Burgess Meredith did a great job for his. He didn't have too big a role in this, but
He did have a Rolls Royce.
yeah, he did. Very nice old Rolls Royce too. And Margaret,
You're in love with her still, it sounds like.
I can't say nothing bad about her. She's 84 years old now, man. I was trying to find a picture of what she looks like now, but I couldn't find a recent one.
She's
See
probably
what she looks
retired
like.
out of the public spotlight by now.
Probably, man. Probably about ready to kick it. But cinematography was awesome in this movie, man. They did a really good job. That cinematographer did a great job, man.
It
And
seemed a little dark to me.
it looked real. I thought it looked really good on the Blu-ray for
Oh, it
sure.
looks great on Blu-ray. It seemed like it was really dark in places.
Yeah, like I said, I watched it. It was probably 3 or 4 months ago. I watched it on because I highlighted on Tubi, and I watched it. Like you said, it was a crappy copy,
Crappy copy on Tubi.
really grainy and stuff. But I'm gonna give this a 3.5.
That's
I,
not much more than me.
I really like this movie. I'm
I thought
not.
he's gonna give it a 4.
can't give it a 4. There was parts. It did drag on a while, with some stuff, and it seemed like at the beginning of it they like rushed it.
They did rush it.
And then
like I said in my they
slowed way down.
There's not enough magic in it, and I don't know. Do I recommend this movie? I'm gonna say no. I wouldn't waste your time with it.
I say, yeah, watch it.
I might sell this copy if anybody wants to buy it. Make me an offer. Facebook.
Put it on Facebook.
Carl Todd, Facebook me. Give me an offer. I'll sell this thing.
Free shipping.
I'll even ship it for free. So yeah, I don't recommend. I think it's just it's too slow.
It doesn't hold up as well as it probably could either, so but yeah, 3.5, it's worth a 3.5 to me. So all right, well, I guess
for 1 point different, we sure have strong differences of opinions in this movie.
Yeah,
but yet I give it a 2.5, you gave it a 3.5, so it would feel like I should have gave it about
I gave it a 3.5 probably for the score. I think the score could have been way better.
I'm thinking about reducing it down to a 2, so we might ought to just stop before I do.
All right. Well, that's all we got for Magic with Sir Anthony Hopkins. And you got anything to say, Carl? Or
I do not, other than I still don't know where the hell the midweek episode was at.
In time.
It might be a year from now.
Might be. Who knows? But anyway, check us out on all the social media. Hit that like and subscribe on the YouTube. We're on all podcast platforms. And thanks for watching and listening, everybody.
Stay evil.
I'll talk to you Wednesday, unless something else fucking happens.
Nah, I'm not gonna count my chickens on this one.
All right, everybody, stay evil. Bye.
When your heart begins to pound, when your mind begins to go, keep telling yourself, it's only a movie.
You do magic too?
Corky does magic. I only do tricks.
There's never been a magician like him. How long you been like this, kid?
You never really told why you were here.
Hiding. Wasn't that cheap in New York?
You want success, but you're afraid of it.
I figured I'd stop by here and ask you folks about you.
Not afraid.
Where were you living? What city? How many kids?
I'm not afraid.
Never expected to find you. I've loved you all my damn life.
I won't be here!
I was afraid of success. Like you said, I needed to get my head on straight.
And now you're fine?
Sure, on account of Peg. I've known her ever since high school. I never figured I'd have a chance with her.
Peggy, no, please, let me follow. Wherever you go.
It's you and me take her.
I love Peg.
Just the two of us. Now everything's changed. She believes me.
A man appears after 15 years. Says run away with me.
Not good. Oh, please, don't kill her.
No, I can't do it! I won't do it! You can't leave me!
Magic, a terrifying love story. Joseph E. Levine presents Magic, starring Anthony Hopkins, Anne-Margaret, Burgess Meredith, Ed Lauter, distributed by 20th Century Fox.